What's up, guys? My name's Evan Tracy. I'm a junior boarder from Vashon Island, Washington.
And my name is Bobby Welsh, a senior boarding student from Roanoke, Virginia.
And this is Tornado Talk.
Hey, guys. Today we have on the podcast a senior,
A day student,
the TEPS Athlete of the Week winner for the climbing team,
an ultimate Frisbee player,
a singer, member of several choir groups at Macaulay,
a pianist,
a young life leader, and lover of the outdoors. Today we have
Ian.
the one, the
Ian.
only, the infamous, the Ian Hassevoort. Let's go.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brothers?
What's up?
So, Ian, we normally start with a game called Quickfire.
Yes.
You know
I'm
it?
sure you're aware.
I'm familiar.
The infamous.
Everybody watches.
Everybody and their
Tornado
mother
Talk, so-
knows Quickfire.
Yeah, I
Pretty
mean,
worried
it's
about
true.
how I'll hold up on this.
you
but,
got it.
Hey, hey.
Don't know what I'm going to say.
All right, Evan, I'll start us off.
Okay. Favorite part of Duck Day?
Ultimate game.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Morning person.
Best season?
Fall.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah, that might be a new record.
What V do you climb?
8 or 9.
Goated. All right, I had to add another question because he was coming for my record. I had to add another question.
I don't know that I beat the Bobby.
He rigged
Welsh.
the system, bro.
It's all right. Hey, empires are born to fall. Like, that's kind of the nature of it. Like, I knew when I set that record that it was going to go down.
It's
It
it's
had
the
to.
morning person mind. It's awake. It's rolling.
Normally when we film at 8 a.m., it's kind of like,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think we're
wake
good.
up
I think
call.
we're good.
We're getting better. So on that note of Bobby's cheat added question to hold his record, we have some questions about climbing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background. What's your experience with climbing? Like, when did you start?
Yeah.
Who got you into it?
I started my sophomore year because freshman year I did ultimate all year round, and I hated ultimate in the winter because it was cold. It hurt.
Oh, that would be bad.
And so I was like, man, I want something like kind of more inside. And then I was like, oh, climbing seems fun. Like,
Yeah.
I've done that a few times at High Point, like at birthday parties or
That's
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And I just like tried out and just started climbing, and it was just a ton of fun. And I just kind of got hooked on it, and then kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got into it. It was kind of on a whim.
I really wish. So as a climber myself, I really wish that the
as a fellow climber,
I really wish that the on-campus gym, as a boarder too, I really wish that the on-campus gym was like got more love than it does.
I agree with you.
Because
100%.
you guys have a climbing wall down there, don't you?
Yeah, but it's nobody really uses it often.
Do
Yeah,
you?
I think the problem is it's never open that
Yeah,
often.
it's not.
If it were kind of like an always open thing, I would stop in there. all
And
the
like
time, but
and like you've got to have a teacher down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's
someone watching.
protocols.
I mean, but hey, so tapping into the Levovitz Innovation Lab, if you can build a robo spotter, we would not have to have a teacher down there.
Robo-spotter.
So you just have a robot that will catch you 100% of the time without fail.
yeah, for real.
Then we could have the climbing gym open the entire time.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, climbing's one of those things that's pretty niche, I feel like. I'd never really felt like it was super popular until I came to Macaulay.
Chattanooga.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely one of those communities that, like, if you're not really part of it, you don't really, like,
Yeah,
know it
that's my
exists.
thing, right?
Like,
That's how I feel about crew. So
Oh, yeah. No, but it's the same thing, right? But I always thought it was super cool. Like, one of the first photos I saw of Macaulay was Henry Clark, right? Like, up on that ridge. I was like, wow, that's sick, right?
Henry's got some sick flicks.
Yeah. So what experiences have you gained? I know we were talking a little bit at the climbing banquet this year, just about different stuff that.
You guys
that
have a
we've-
climbing banquet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
the
we have
climbing banquet.
everything, bro.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we ate while we were climbing on the wall. It was nice.
Yeah, we all sat in
sweet.
like on portal ledges, real way up high.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like hanging cots, and we sat there and had a whole ceremony.
That's so chill.
And Jake Ultimus had a jetpack. And he was, what experience have you gained? What have you learned climbing with the guys in the Macaulay climbing team?
It's a good question. It's going to be a cut moment. I'm going to think for a second.
No, go for it.
No worries. Our boy Tristan got you.
Cut this, Mr. Roberts.
I definitely love just like, I feel like I met a lot of people through climbing that I would not have known otherwise. Really just like even the guys on the team, like you, Bobby, or like Grant, or like a bunch of other people, like I wouldn't really know if I hadn't joined the team. So it was cool just like getting another community through that, and not just even people on the team, but like climbing's a very like community oriented sport. Like you go out to climb, like you're out at like at a boulder field, and there's just like people will pull up and be like, what's up, and like you just start climbing together, and it's just so cool to like meet people through that. And yeah, I do love about climbing just like the way it pushes you personally. You know, like it's not like a team sport. It's not like Ultimate where there's 14 people on the field and you're working together. It's like it's so different in that it's like it's just you on the wall, and it's just you pushing yourself. But also like the fact that we have a team, and it's not just you pushing yourself; it's other people pushing each other. But ultimately, it's you on the wall, and it's you against you. I think it's pretty cool.
Absolutely,
that's pretty sweet.
Let me ask you a question: do you enjoy, if you had to choose right now, like if we were to take off the headphones and go climb, would you prefer an empty crag or a full crag? A crag is like a climbing area, by the way.
Oh, dude, I think it depends on how I'm feeling.
Right now. That's why I said right now, because I knew you were going to say that.
Full crag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the energy. The crowd energy.
I need the energy. Yeah, but sometimes I'm just going out there to relax. I don't want a lot of people there.
Totally.
I kind of have an offshoot question. So what is your favorite climbing memory, right?
That's a good question. It's another cut moment for me.
we were
hitting hard on that.
Yeah, no, I like it though. Low key, earlier this year, me and Grant and Bobby went out to Stonefort for like a day.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was just super chill. It was like super last second, and we just kind of threw it together.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. I don't think we did anything particularly hard. We just kind of went out there and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That might not be my favorite, but off the top of my head, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Dang, dude.
Hey, that spot. Have you ever been out there?
Stonefort,
it's gorgeous. It's up in like near Saudi.
Yeah, like Cumberland Plateau.
Near Blue Hole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then never mind.
Yeah, dude.
That's a minute out.
Yeah, no, it is kind of far out. That's kind of the struggle.
Most stuff are, yeah. It's like usually 30, 40 minutes.
It's a cool drive though.
It is a beautiful drive.
Yeah. So moving along. Actually, so I've actually found myself thinking about this question too, as we're kind of seniors starting to move away and go our different routes. But do you see climbing playing in a role in your future, just as a hobby, as a sport, as something that you're going to pass along?
Yeah, definitely, because as of, a month or two ago, I found out I was going to go to Covenant, so I'll still be in chat. So like when that happened, I was like, oh, I can still keep like climbing, and like, because I don't know that I would keep climbing if I couldn't go outside.
Totally. Absolutely.
I feel like that's where I get the most joy from it.
Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah.
So just being able to do that, I'm definitely going to keep climbing. I don't know. I might keep competing. I might do USA climbing next year. But I mean, just getting to go outside, I'm definitely going to keep doing that. 100%. And I would love to find a climbing community up at Covenant too. I'm sure I will.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So moving on to Ultimate Frisbee. You're great at both of them in general. I feel like Ultimate Frisbee, I give it a lot of guff. It's like an underrated sport. I'm like, oh, it's not a sport, but crew's also not a sport, so I'll put it out there. Compared to sports like football, basketball, and soccer, like, give me an opinion on people who are like, Ultimate's not a sport, right? Like, guys like me are sometimes joking about it. Or do you get a lot of that? Do you catch a lot of flack?
We definitely do get some of that. It has been nice this year being a varsity sport and kind of finally getting that recognition.
Did you get a jacket? Please say yes.
We have not gotten jackets.
We didn't get one on the mountain biking team either. I was in that similar spot this year.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, I think Ultimate's definitely a sport.
100%.
If you've ever, I mean, I think that the thing with Ultimate is that it's kind of known as like a PE game. You played it back in elementary school in a PE class, and you're like, oh, this is just like some bum game. But like, if you come out there and actually play like structured Ultimate, you learn the movements. Like, it's actually very similar, I think, to soccer in the way that the movements work, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of always thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, if you've ever actually played organized Ultimate, you realize this is actually like a real sport.
It looks physically taxing. Like, it looks super hard.
Who'd the faculty, so we had during Duck Day, which is a day in the spring that we get to duck out of classes thanks to Kyokai. Yeah, whoop whoop. During Duck Day, we have a faculty student ultimate game. Who did the faculty bring out? There were some faces I didn't realize.
Yeah, well, we brought in the two you wouldn't recognize would be Neil and Jared. Okay. They're both coaches for the team. Eddie? So Jared Beasley.
He looked like he was
he's a goat. He's the captain on UTC's team. And he helps coach us, but he's like insanely good. So that was helpful for me.
I could never run and like throw a Frisbee.
He looks freaky athletic.
He is crazy athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get a D on him though. That felt good.
Totally. Oh, that's sick.
Should I join up?
So
you should pull up.
So, it's a similar question that we asked about the climbing team. But what relationships have you built, and what is the ultimate team at Macaulay meant to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Going into Ultimate my freshman year, it was nice. A lot of our middle school friend group was kind of going into that because we would always play Ultimate in middle school just like for fun, during backworks or whatever. So a lot of us went to play. So already in freshman year, I kind of had like some close friends on the team.
Yeah.
And then just getting to meet more people through that and kind of like expand that community too. That just has been really special. And I definitely, compared to climbing, the team aspect in Ultimate is a lot stronger. I feel like.
Okay.
So that's. I mean, you are playing a team sport and you're working as a unit and trying to build chemistry and just getting to like push each other in that way to work together to be better. Is just really cool.
It's pretty cool being on like one team, right? Freshman year, all throughout senior year, right? You really get to make it your own community and like watch guys grow.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's a really awesome feeling.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit, moving a little bit to music.
A little bit about music.
Talk to us about choir and how long you've been doing it. How has your taste in music, as far as what you enjoy to sing, changed throughout your time?
Big Silent Night guy.
Good question. So I guess, kind of my history with music. Both my parents are musicians, and so they kind of started me when I was young against my will.
That's their career.
In like kids choir or whatever. Yeah, that's what they do.
What?
Yeah. Shout out to the folks.
That's sick.
But yeah, they put me in the Chattanooga Boys Choir when I was in like third grade, and I'm still in that this year. It's my last year in it.
Wow, that's wild.
So that's been cool. And then I did some choir back in middle school, and then kind of expanded different things here. But then I also joined the quartet sophomore year, got to do stuff with that, and then done some solo stuff. And they also forced me to take piano lessons when I was younger, and I don't take lessons anymore, but I still enjoy playing. And so getting to play and sing and do some gig work through that has been fun. But it's kind of been cool that it's been something that when I started, I didn't really enjoy or didn't know if I enjoyed because I was just being forced into it by my parents. But now like kind of growing into like knowing that I enjoy it and knowing that it's something I love and I'll do for the rest of my life.
I think choir is super like respectable and admirable, like learning how to really use your diaphragm, right?
That's a big one.
Right. Yeah. No, but literally how to sing, right? Like it's applicable to real world stuff because like when you're singing in front of people, you get better public speaking knowledge. You use your voice better. I just think like if more people did choir, it'd be better. Not better. Sorry, that was weird, but like I think more people should do choir.
No, I agree. I think it would be better.
I think it's very admirable. So props to you, Goat.
How has okay, cut this. Never mind. I'm so sorry.
Cut this out.
Okay, sorry. Talking about piano. How long has that? So you said you started taking piano lessons, and how has? Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Never mind. Cut that whole thing. So speaking about music and you singing, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
It's a good question. I feel like the two are almost not at all related. I mean, like I feel like I'm
as it goes.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of listen to like Noah Kahan, Zach Bryan, like that kind of feel.
Big lyricist guy.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate people with like good natural vocals. I feel if somebody's too heavily auto-tuned, just like as kind of a perfectionist in that area, I'm just like, I can't stand this. Like I can't stand 100%.
I think Zach Bryan's someone who has a really like rough natural voice.
He has good vocals and they fit well for his style of singing.
Noah Kahan's got an amazing voice.
Amazing.
You know,
so impressive.
You know who I could never listen to Bob Dylan because I felt like he has the. I've always been like, man, I could sing this well.
Yeah, right. He's
like,
just
why,
bumbling.
Why am I listening to this guy if I can sing?
Talk it.
But Knocking on Heaven's Door was good, but everything else, like, I don't know. It just.
I like Girl from North Country Fair.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, some of his songs he
It's
sings.
hard to not like that. Like, it's harder to not like that song.
Yeah, it's the same way though. I absolutely agree. Right? It's like listening to him, just like,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Any one of us could do that.
But actually, sorry, this is your podcast. But
we're chirping.
But you said Silent Night. What was that an inside joke? Was I missing that?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Did you sing in Candlelight?
Not in the chorus, no, because I don't sing in the men's chorus here. It doesn't
That's embarrassing on my end.
Womp womp.
I was in Salzburg, Austria, like right where they composed, where Silent Night was first composed.
Dude.
There was like a church where Silent Night was first composed. That was crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah,
where the organ stopped working.
Yeah, wait, what's the story there? Tell me.
Yeah, I think it was like the organ broke on like the day before like Christmas or whatever, and so they like. This guy, I forget who wrote it, which is terrible, but he wrote it, and it was like for a guitar. So it was just guitar with vocals, and just very simple.
Beautiful. How has piano influenced you throughout your life?
How has piano influenced?
Because you mentioned you played
Franz
piano.
Xavier Gruber. That's who composed Silent Night.
Thank you, Bobby.
Word out. Well, how long have you been playing piano, first of all?
Yeah, I started lessons in first grade, and then stopped taking lessons like 7th or 8th grade.
Can you play by ear?
Just kept playing. Yeah, I can play by ear and
Dude.
stuff. Wow. I will say it is fun just getting to like sit down and like play and sing through stuff. Just since I can play chords just as you would on like a guitar or whatever. And then also just like definitely since I've taken lessons and like learned a lot of classical stuff, there's like classical music is underrated, underappreciated, and like getting to really play through some like beautiful stuff and just create like say like Clair de Lune by Debussy. I don't know if you know that, but like if you like just being able to play that and make that music is just like a soul magical. I feel like it's like a soul healing experience.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean? I've observed some people. My girlfriend's one of those people that can play by ear too, and that is just so wild to like see someone and then like to watch their hands and like with this instrument, to watch the melody come to life as you're watching it in real time. Is just
I
insane.
played for 3 years and I was just like, my fingers couldn't do the like wide stretch stuff. So it's super impressive.
Yeah, well, that's crazy though. Like how. Shoot, sorry. I don't know why I started talking.
That's wild.
Good.
Yeah.
So you plan to continue to play piano, right?
Surely.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
I don't know that I'll ever take lessons again.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy that too much, but yeah.
You can teach them in college, dude.
It's true.
That'd be a good gig.
That would be a good gig. You'd charge a lot too up on the mountain, brother.
Dude, up on the mountain.
Up on the mountain.
Yeah.
Keep that on the low though. That's only within the listeners
just
circle.
Ian Hassevoort monopolized piano lesson business. So throwing it all the way back to the outdoors. We talked a little bit about climbing, but there's more you enjoy to do outside.
Oh,
than just
absolutely.
Climbing. Tell us about that.
I have kind of grown up. My dad has really instilled in me like a love for the outdoors. Like we would go camping, back when I was little, and just us or with some of my good buds and their dads. And then when I got old enough, we started doing like backpacking on the AT. And I think my first trip was when I was like 9, and I remember we were going up Roan Mountain in a thunderstorm, and it was like 50 degrees, and it was our first backpacking trip, and our packs were way too heavy, and I was like 9 carrying this like 35-pound pack up the mountain.
Pack covers,
and I was just, it was miserable. It was miserable. But went back out again, and we've been going, every year when we can. And I think like being out on the AT it's like the most beautiful place I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of those places where it's like, if you asked me like, how do I know that, God is real? I just think of like, you're hiking up a mountain and you get to this massive overlook and you just see this huge valley and just, all these flowing rivers and these swaying trees. And I just think about like, man, like how can you not, see the beauty and the wonder in that creation and just feel like it's like, that there's love instilled in that by a creator.
It was composed intentionally.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was really well said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that so being up from Roanoke, seeing the through hikers coming
beautiful
through
up there.
Yeah, that's a cool stretch of the AT. What stretches of the AT have you?
We've done maybe 60 miles down by Stringers by the start, and then like 100, 120 up by like Irwin, Tennessee.
Okay.
Were you ever a Boy Scout?
No, never did Scouts.
You wish you did that?
I don't know. I feel like I learned all this stuff enough, but I'm sure I would have loved it too.
Definitely.
Were you?
Yeah. I'm actually an Eagle Scout.
Hey.
Yeah, I did the Pacific Crest Trail. You should definitely. Have you ever done that?
I haven't. I want to.
Dude, it's unreal. I mean, it's just beautiful. Like
totally different kind of beauty too.
Yeah, it's more mountainous. Well, you guys have like.
We've got the tired mountains.
Yeah, you guys have like the
old
roll hills with all the trees. We have like evergreens with just rocky juts, just straight up as you can see, and it's the same thing, right? It's like
that's so cool.
Like, how can you not? Moving into that, like, have you always been religious? Like, you mentioned both your parents were musicians. Like, did you grow up into religion? It's
a good question. Yeah. My parents are both Christians, and I was raised in the church. But obviously, as a little youngster in the church, I don't feel like I ever like took any of it to heart really. Like I knew all like
pulling up the Sunday school.
I knew all like the Sunday school answers and stuff.
But
I wouldn't have called myself a Christian until the summer after my freshman year. I feel like I kind of had my own journey of kind of almost holding like a grudge against my parents and against the church because I felt like I was being forced to believe certain things, and then in my own time and in my own journey coming to realize what I do believe, then like coming back to the church then. Yeah,
I feel like that's a good amount of people's journey is like the church at first or organized anything is something that hinders your ability to be free, and then once you establish yourself and your you strong foundation, it can only help from there. So I honor that. What church do you go to?
I go to First Pres on Macaulay.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Totally. Yeah. And you're still passionate about that church community. Are you involved there? Are you? How are you involved there? And how are you involved with Young Life?
It's a good question. I love my youth group at my church is like my second home almost. I feel like
that's so incredible.
I feel like it's really through my youth group that I feel like I became a Christian. Like a brief anecdote. I went my mom forced me to go on a retreat with my youth group the summer after my freshman year to Gatlinburg. And I was really there that through the way that like the leaders treated me and just the way they just loved me so easily, even though like I was really a pretty terrible kid at that point. I feel like that was like that was really what made me start to think like maybe there's like something more to this that I'm missing.
Yeah.
And so it's really just like I love my youth group, and I help lead our middle schoolers and go every Sunday night to our high school youth group, and I love the supportive community we have there, and I feel like our leaders are some of the best people I know at just building a community based on like lifting people up and loving people. And I just love being a part of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's the entire point of a youth or a young life organization is just to inspire everybody. I sat down with Jason Shaw and those other guys the other day, and just like asking them about like how do you encourage people to blaze their own trail, because as you said, oftentimes organized religion, starting with organized religion, will make you fall into this groove that maybe isn't your own. And I think that's a major turnoff for a lot of people to be like to be told what to do or told what to believe, and like asking him how does he inspire people to make it their own. I think his answer was good, but it was basically the same as yours. It's like the same as your experience. It's like people come away and then they come back and they make our organization a whole lot better.
I never really went to youth group growing up.
Me neither. I've never really.
So it's cool hearing about like it's like a team, right? Like it's kind of like a friend group, right?
It is kind of just like a friend group, but it's a big, I guess maybe contrasted to a friend group. Trying to not be like cliquey.
Yeah.
Sure.
There you go. That's true.
we want anyone who is interested in in learning more about Christ or just having a supportive community and friend group just to be able to come and be a part of it. That's another thing I love about our youth group is like whenever anyone new shows up, we all try and just like, what's up, man? Like try and just make them feel welcomed.
Hammer them with love.
I feel like that's not something you get as much from maybe just like a your average friend group.
Yeah, that's a very intentional
Speaking
community
of,
and culture.
Yeah.
What about hey, tell us about
life, right? Or what do you want to say?
I was going to say the monastery.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
I don't know.
No, that's so cool. Actually, I was considering doing that.
Yeah. So junior year T term, went to a monastery for a week in the Ozark Mountains with Mr. Dietrich and Mr. McKaig.
That's so cool. 12
other guys. And that was, first of all, another just beautiful place. Just up there in the mountains. And like, I remember we would like walk to like morning mass at like 7 a.m. and the sun would be rising and over the Ozarks there. And that's just another kind of like a totally different kind of beauty out there. But that was a cool trip for me. Just getting to know a lot of the guys on the trip, getting to talk with some of the monks. My boy, Brother John, shout out to him. He's a goat.
He's listening.
Yeah, tune in.
Tune in. But I had a moment there where I feel like that was the first time where I was able to like really open up about a lot of stuff I've been struggling with, and just really to realize how much God loves me despite the fact that I'm like a sinner and I'm broken, right? And I mean, I know that's something a lot of guys struggle with. But yeah, just like knowing that, I mean, I feel like that's really what drives me now to pursue God, because I know how broken I am and how I am really like nothing without being saved, without God's love and without Christ's sacrifice. So if I'm nothing without that, I feel like I should, give what I have back to the God who gave me everything.
And despite that being broken and depraved and separated being a universal condition doesn't take away from the power of your individual experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that can oftentimes be like listening to people speak or like, hearing things is like, oh, this is the same story being retold again, but it's retold from different lips, which is wild. That one story can have some different effects and just so powerful, such a powerful effect on everybody.
And that really is something that you'll never fully get just from hearing people speak it. But
yeah, absolutely.
I have more of a specific question about the monastery. So you had to take a vow of silence, right?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't take a vow technically, but
dip your foot in the water.
For sure. We were kind of trying to like follow their lifestyle. So they did this thing called grand silence from like basically sunset to like 12 noon. So they like wouldn't talk and they would wake up super early and do devos and prayers and stuff. And so but they were pretty chill with us of like, you guys don't, just as long as you kind of respect our space and stuff, just, you don't have to like take this vow of silence. And so like we would kind of try to err on the side of silence and like err on the side of, maybe go take a hike and just find somewhere alone and just kind of be alone with your thoughts and with God. But if you needed to like ask somebody to pass you the sugar. You know, you didn't have to use hand motions and sign language and stuff.
Is that what they would do?
I mean, they all kind of live they all have their own little isolated houses. So
Okay.
I hope they wouldn't have to.
So they pass themselves the sugar.
Yeah.
I think, speaking about the beauty surrounding that monastery, it's always the monasteries and the nunneries that get the prime real estate, dude. I visited
What's going on?
I visited the first Nürnberg Abbey, the one in Austria, and like, dude, those Catholics, man, they've got
Sound
the
of music.
prime real estate, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the Alps.
Mountains.
Like, it was crazy.
For real Sound of Music vibes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just running out in the field.
Are the Ozarks super
mountainous?
super sharp?
No, they're kind of like Appalachia, but like a little flatter. Like
Okay.
they call them mountains. I think they technically are because they're like it's higher elevation over there. But they're not super high rising or anything. It's
Totally.
more of the rolling hills vibe.
Absolutely. So moving to our second game, called
game
Guess
two.
That Teacher.
Here we go, brother.
I have somebody here that you may guess or you may not guess. Evan will start us off with the
I
first
will.
one.
Hitchhiked from New York to Tennessee.
Likes pineapples on pizza.
Loves watching UFC.
Rode an elephant in India. Okay, I do have more in my head that aren't on this list. However, this person said that you may know their crazy stories. So that's another hint in itself, maybe.
Yeah.
If you need one more, no shame.
Could you read them back one more time? You can cut this if you need to.
No.
So hitchhiked from New York to Tennessee.
Likes pineapples on pizza.
Loves watching UFC.
Rode an elephant in India.
An elephant in India. I have no idea.
All right, you want me to give you another one?
Yeah.
All right. Started as like a janitor at Macaulay, but now has a different position.
Josh Dietrich.
Ah, dude, I know.
Oh, bro,
I
sold.
was gonna either say that or grew up in a Christian commune, but that would have given
Yeah.
it.
Commune?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Dude,
Yeah,
he grew up
his
like
parents were they lived in this bus and like a
Yeah,
hippie
dude.
Christian
Crazy.
almost like a monastic kind
Yeah.
of thing, but like
Yeah.
Wild. Little culty action.
a little
Maybe
bit
so.
guilty.
yeah, and they like drove all around and like didn't wear any clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and they went to the Four Corners and lit fires.
Like, have you guys? Hey, so this is completely random, but like, this is what podcasts are about. Have you guys seen the? I know some guys personally that like have been actively trying to like see what the Yellow Deli 12 Tribe stuff is all about. And got invited. Do you know anything about it?
I have no. I mean,
I don't really know.
I've
I've
read
heard
it.
I've heard stuff about the Yellow Deli. I've never been, and I really don't want to go.
The
dude.
food's good though.
The food is good. Basically, like what I read off the pamphlet, because I was in there with Liam Garris, shout out my boy, at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I ordered a Cuban, which by the way was fire.
Yeah, it's good.
So good. Their food's so good.
Made with real human meat.
Yeah, something like that. But they're like their whole thing is that like excuse me if there are any
12 Tribes members listening.
yes, I may butcher your
Doctrine.
doctrine. Yes, your belief.
creed, yeah.
Your creed, but I think it's like a new prophet came or something like that
okay.
in like
Womp womp.
in like the 60s.
Oh yeah.
The 60s?
Yeah, like around Vietnam era, and it was all about
interesting.
like hippie kind of culture.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
All good. But then it's like also like God is coming and the rapture
Rapture's real,
is yeah. So like it's
Ian.
Forrest Gump running around the '60s talking about.
Yeah.
12
So
tribes.
the final question we always end with is, what is a piece of advice that you would give? You know, either someone coming to Macaulay, a new boarder, new day student, new middle schooler, someone listening to the podcast. What is your one Macaulay piece of advice as you're gearing up to leave?
I would say that your teachers are not just your teachers, but your teachers can be your friends too. I think like getting to know like certain teachers, like Dr. Posey, Mr. Givens, just Mr. McKay, just as a couple, like finding those teachers you really connect with, and just like, I mean, your teachers are just people too, and they've had, you know, all their own experiences, and they know a lot more about just life, not just science or whatever. They know a lot more about life than you do, and all you have to do really is just ask. I know, I remember last year in AP Bio, staying after often to just talk with Dr. Posey about college or relationships or really anything, and just I mean, finding those people that can really just pour into you and that you can learn from, and finding people that you want to be like, and just spending time with them.
Certainly.
And you know, at a place like this, your teachers will be more than willing to do that, and just to talk with you and be your friend,
and they'll more than likely be people that you want to be like too.
Yeah.
It's not you can, you know, you don't have to walk very far to bump into somebody that you not ought to be like, but at least it wouldn't be half bad if you ended up like them.
Half bad.
Yeah. Oh my, that's
really good advice.
I feel like that isn't true at all. High school, you know.
No, absolutely.
High school.
Many high schools.
Yeah, we're definitely
institutions.
blessed. With the teachers we have here.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Ian.
Good servant leaders.
Yeah, Ian. Thank you so much for coming on.
Goated guest.
Thanks for having me.
Beast.
That was we had a lot to talk about, but I feel like we touched on it.
We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, everything from hiking to God and then piano.
You helped us out a lot with the script, but Akil, of course, put it together.
Yes.
Akil,
so big shout out to my boy Akil.
Props. And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Do you have a pocket square in? You have a pocket square?
There we go. Built in. So join us next week. Do we do that at the very end? No, we do that at the very end. Sorry, cut this. All right, guys, tune in to our YouTube, by the way. I say this every time, but we're gorgeous, so you have to, because if you didn't, you wouldn't see our beautiful faces.
We're gorgeous and humble.
You know, tune in. Yeah, humility abounds, beauty abounds on the YouTube for Tornado Talk. Also, check out our Instagram. We've always got something going there.
Shout out Tristan.
Yeah, join us next week for another Rumpus.
Rumpus. A noisy disturbance, a commotion.
There we go. Ian, thank you so much, and we'll see y'all later.
Thanks, y'all.